Today I've got a drill for you. We're going to be working on the sequencing of our bowling action. I've stolen this drill unashamedly from Ian Pont. He calls it the 4 tent pegs, and Stephen Jones, another fast bowling coach in the UK, he calls it kinetic chain sequencing, which is what I like to call it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I do the drill. I've got a few stills that we'll go over as well that highlight the important positions that we want to be getting in, and then we'll have a quick chat. So here we go, we've got me going through the kinetic chain sequencing drill. As you can see, it's all about sort of just getting in specific positions that we would deem to be perfect, which obviously you're not going to actually hit yourself in your own bowling action, but if we aim for perfection, we'll try and get as close as we can. You'll see sometimes I get into one of the positions and I have to stop myself for a moment, readjust. I think I do it just there a little bit. It's all about getting in perfect position. I like to do it in front of a mirror so I can see where my body is in relation to itself. Again, here I'm just a little bit off balance, so make sure I readjust, get into the right position. The 4 tent pegs are back foot contact, front foot contact that we've got here. As you can see, arms at 3 and 9. Then we've got the point of delivery with a drop leg at the back, and then the follow through with a big drive from our back leg. So again, I'll just show you the footage of the drill itself. Back foot contact, front foot contact, point of delivery, and follow through. Talk about each specific position now. Back foot contact, we want arms in that nice loaded position, ready to explode into our action. Now we'll talk about front foot contact. We've got braced front leg, arms at 3 and 9 o'clock. The back arm can trail a little bit more. At the delivery point, we want our non-bowling hand pulling the batsman's collar towards the pocket nice and hard. That's going to generate power, and our other arm's going to follow. You see, pull hard in towards your pocket with that non-bowling arm. As you can see, after pulling into the pocket there, then you go back through the follow through, try and explode through that, and we actually want to do that dynamically and move through that position, whereas each of the other 3 positions I would like to see, to start with, I want to try and hold each of those positions for 3 whole seconds, or long 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 in your head, and then move on to the next position. As you start to get a better feel for how to get into each position, and you understand where you need to be, you can start to move through it a little bit quicker, and then after that we would progress to throwing maybe a 2-handed overhead throw with a medicine ball, or just going through off 3 or 4 steps with a cricket ball into a net, to build on those positions and to integrate it into our bowling action. So what I would recommend to initially start off with is probably doing about 15 repetitions. Probably break it up into 3 sets and have a little rest in between each, just to sort of soak in what you've done. Just take a moment to think about, was I getting in the right positions? So go through that, and you really need to be doing that 3 to 4 times a week, especially in off-season, pre-season time. That's the time you've got to be focusing on working on your bowling action. It's not something you can be doing, adjusting your bowling action mid-season. So get it done well and truly before the season starts. Couple of things to think about when we're doing this drill is that we ensure that our feet aren't on a tightrope. We want our left foot to land under our left hip and our right foot under our right hip. We want our feet on train tracks. If we get them in a line, we're going to fall over. If we get them separated slightly, That'll allow our shoulder to come through our bowling action, and we won't need to fall over because it will just come over the right hip and the left shoulder can stay over the left hip, and we're nice and balanced. Another thing to remember is a big emphasis on that front leg block. That is so important. When our knee breaks in our bowling action, we lose so much of the potential energy that we've built up in our bowling run-up. So if we can keep that front leg locked solid in a nice straight position all the way through our action, you're actually going to transfer all that run-up energy up the kinetic chain, up to your hand, into the ball, and you're going to generate more pace. And then in our transition from temp peg 2 to temp peg 3, we want to make sure that we're going from our hips at probably 45 degrees, hips and shoulders at 45 degrees, and we really want our back leg to drive forward, pushing our hips square, getting that rotation through our hips, and our back leg, our knee needs to break in that position as well. If we keep that too tense, that's going to absorb energy and slow down our run-up before it gets to our front foot. We want all of our energy to stop with our front foot, and with a stiff back leg, we're actually going to eat up a little bit of that energy and actually decelerate before we really want to. Final thing, big drive from that back knee in our follow through. Just after we've pulled the batsman's collar into our pocket. So that's how we do the kinetic chain sequencing or 4 temp pegs drill. Give it a go, and give it a month or so working just on a basic level, and then you can begin to integrate it at a higher level.